welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
And my name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Ooh, I feel terrible. I feel terrible.
Oh no.
I have put you through so much in the past few days, and I feel terrible about it. We are recording today on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all of our mama listeners, including, not just our personal mothers, Mama Trash Can and Tina Curry, but any listener who's a mother or doesn't want to be a mother but has a pet or whatever. If you like this day, happy to you. But we were supposed to record last week instead because I'm on vacation right now. And what did I go and do? I went and got a migraine.
Damn you.
I went and got a migraine, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was, okay, I have a migraine. Like, it hurts to my teeth. Let's just do this tomorrow morning. And then I slept through my alarm. And from what I understand, scared Erica to bits.
I texted Cassandra's partner. Like, I Instagram DM'd him just to make sure she was okay.
I am a morning person typically, so he understood why if I told someone I will be with you in the morning and I am not awake, that it's definitely like cause for alarm. But I didn't die, but I felt so bad. I was like, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay. And it's not, I just was worried. Like, it's totally fine.
But I know that worried feeling.
It's that adrenaline / worry.
You're like, oh my God, she died of her migraine.
Yes,
which happens.
Yes. I know. I was like, I don't want to go over there and like have to get her roommate involved. Like, I was going through it.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, I was like sleeping, clutching like a pillow in my arms, which is how I tend to sleep if I'm sleeping alone. And my phone, I don't like really loud iPhone alarms. I find them like jarring and awful. So I kind of have mine pretty low, and then it kind of soothes me awake. It usually takes about 2 minutes, but it soothes me awake. But my clutch pillow was on top of my phone. So that quiet alarm went off for over an hour.
That's so funny to me. Well, I went to a brunch yesterday, like a birthday brunch, where I brought champagne and sparkling rosé as like a gift and proceeded to be what felt like the only one to imbibe in it.
Oh.
And I kept trying to push it onto other people, and the hostess had like 6 or 7 bottles of champagne in the fridge, but I was like, this is good shit, y'all. Like, oh man, they made sangria. Like, everyone should try the sangria. And I was like, am I being too loud? Am I being like, all of the paranoia of being at a vaxxed brunch with people flooded me.
You tried to make the party happen.
I tried to make the party happen, and I was like, am I succeeding, or am I just being the party alone?
Damn, you should have come up to Lake Arrowhead, because we got here on Friday night and we made the party happen. I mean, like, everyone kind of contributed, but like we played Flip Cup.
Oh my God. Amazing.
There's a group of 8 of us here, and everyone's vaccinated, and most of us are within a pod together already, but some outer pod people. And we played Flip Cup. It was a blast. But then, yesterday morning I was unwell.
I went to bed at 9 p.m. after a brunch
That's why
because
I don't like brunch. I don't like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I came for hot chicken in another episode and now I'm coming for brunch a little bit. Like I see the appeal, but like also like mimosas, you're gonna give me a headache with that shit. And I'm also in bed by 9. I'm surprised you weren't in bed by 6.
well, I got home a little after 6, took my bra off, and was like, I'm done.
Absolutely.
I'm done for the day.
Oh man, and it's like usually hot, like you're like sun kissed and tired. Ooh, God love you. You know, I would do a brunch with you.
Let me tell you, I bring the party. I bring the party to a brunch.
You be bringing the party to the party.
To
So
the
together,
party.
a brunch with us would be. We're getting kicked out of a restaurant.
Why are you trash this week?
Besides everything I just said, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's another food one. This one's really embarrassing, or it feels really embarrassing to me. So like, you know how they say like don't go grocery shopping hungry? I agree with this statement. But when I grocery shop at Trader Joe's hungry, I'll always get a tuna wrap, like because they've got all like those pre whatever salads and wraps and stuff, which most of the wraps are shitty. But I'll get a tuna wrap, and then I don't know why this specific craving also seems to hit whenever I'm super hungry, but I'll get like one of the individual like things of chocolate milk.
Oh, okay.
Like dairy milk, which is not something that my body likes.
Mm-hmm.
So in the car on the way home, I will consume a bottle of chocolate milk and a tuna wrap and then wonder, why am I like this?
Exactly.
Like, am I pregnant? Who wants fish and dairy at the same time? Unless
Chocolate
I guess you're
dairy at that.
chocolate dairy specifically. I guess there's clam chowder, but it's not chocolate clam chowder, and there's a reason.
Oh my God.
Why are you trash?
Well, I was doing laundry in my building the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a key to get in, and I keyed in, and then sitting right in the floor was a pair of underwear, but they were clearly dirty underwear. And there was
Okay.
another person in the laundry room doing laundry. And I just simply stepped over that pair of panties instead of being like, are these yours? Like it was like a pair of underwear and a short and a shirt that was right in front of the door. And instead of just doing the polite, like, I think you might have left something, I just stepped right over it because I was so embarrassed about the pair of underwear, like for them.
Oh my God.
So I just stepped over it like an animal.
See, like, I don't know what I would have done in that situation either, though. Because if they're like that, we're talking like soiled.
I mean, it was, I don't know
shouldn't say the
how
word soiled
detailed
because
I
I guess
want to get.
we don't have to talk about the particular.
Yeah.
They were dirty panties. I like, because if you tell them, hey, you dropped some stuff, then they know that you saw it.
Yes.
But technically, if you just walk in, have like headphones in, maybe you're just the kind of person who walks eyes up all the time.
So it was a judgment call, and I made the judgment to not alert them. And then, they started their laundry, and then as they were exiting, they were like, "Oh, oops," and then like made a production of it, said, "Oh, oops," and then like went back to the laundry machine with said dirty panties, and I was like, "Ay, ay, ay, this is bad for both of us."
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not the production of it.
It was the production of it that made it kind of
oh my God.
Oops.
Oh,
Whereas
God.
I would have just thrown them away.
Yeah,
And been
no,
like,
I would have picked them up, taken them home, and then moved.
Yes. That was the other option. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. That's very funny. Should we get into our first story?
Absolutely. From www.edp24.co/UK.
I've never heard you do the www before.
It felt important to say.
I like it.
Yeah. 16s get stuck in toddler swings.
Why are they? Is this a TikTok trend? This toddler swing business?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Teenagers have been cut free by firefighters after taking part in TikTok challenge to squeeze into toddler swings and film themselves.
6 youngsters in Norfolk have been so far released from the swings as the challenge sweeps the country.
Norfolk, which is in Virginia, I believe, by the way, I Googled it. I didn't Google like super far, but, I typed in Norfolk and then Virginia came up. Norfolk Fire and Rescue has a spat of calls for its firefighters to free the trapped teenagers and older children, and bosses said rescuing them could hamper crews to getting to serious emergencies. So is this a TikTok trend or is this a Norfolk specific? Like, it sounds like it's these firefighters having to do it over and over again.
Well, that's a great question. I don't really know. It seems like it's taking the nation by storm, but it's just concentrated in this Norfolk area.
So I remember I've always been a bigger girl, Although I saw some pictures at my mom's place last time I was over there, and I did have a jawline, which I didn't think I did, because I know that for a fact because I don't have one now. And I remember this like kind of thing when you're a teenager of like wanting to prove still how small you are.
Uh-huh.
So like I guess I see how this got started. I'm feeling for all the 5'10" thicker teenagers who are like, "Oh, cool trend. I can't even attempt that."
Right.
Because I know I'm going to get stuck and cool. I hate myself. Maybe they don't hate I think they have a lot healthier self-image these days than we did back in our day.
And I feel like, and this is maybe just age, but I feel like they are just in generally smaller than we were.
I mean, I don't know. They look like adults to me on TikTok.
They do their makeup like adults, that's for sure.
Yeah, but like there are small adults.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that I'm older and bigger and I see anyone that's not as a youth.
That's fair. I mean, I definitely can identify someone who's under 18.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say that like when I'm on TikTok like that they're just fooling me all the time. Like I have proud I was able to get the teenagers out of my algorithm. Because when you first start on TikTok, they show you all the really popular stuff and then you're like, okay, get out.
Moving
Yucky.
on. I won't like an under 18 video.
I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it. I mean, unless
Nope.
it's like an actual little kid doing something that's very funny and viral, then like sure. But no, if you're in high school, I don't need to see your TikToks.
I don't need to see your TikToks, and I don't need you listening to trashy crap trashy.
Yeah, you really don't want youths listening to this.
I just feel like they're not ready emotionally for it.
They don't need to look this hard in the mirror yet.
I want them to be bright-eyed and optimistic about the world, not jaded like the journalists that we've become.
I know, but you know what? High key, like any teenager, they'd hate us anyways.
Did you go to the video store a lot when you were a teenager?
Yes, there was like nothing more fun than walking around Blockbuster around the edge where all the new releases were. And it was a cool place to work. I didn't work there, but like cool kids did.
We had in one town over in Elgin, there was a family video, like not the brand name Family Video, just like an offshoot of
like family video. Who was like, this is the business we're gonna have.
And there was an older woman there who I always felt like was judging my picks. And so I was always like, I'd bring up the thing I really wanted to watch, and then I'd bring up something that I thought she'd like approve of. So I'd always end up renting 2 videos.
Yeah, there was a video store down the street from my first apartment that my mom got in Burbank, and there was a cute guy who worked there. And so I wouldn't rent videos from there unless I knew that they might make me look kind of cool. But like in retrospect, like what movies, I guess, I don't know. What movies can a 14, 15-year-old like look cool watching?
Interview with the Vampire comes to mind.
Ooh, that is a good one.
All of this is to say, our next story comes to us from fox10phoenix.com. Woman charged with felony embezzlement for not returning 21-year-old VHS rental tape.
In Norman, Oklahoma. You know where that is?
I do. Yeah, that's the home of the OU Sooners.
Thank you. Karen McBride always prided herself on being a law-abiding citizen until she found out that she was wanted for felony embezzlement after not returning a VHS tape rented in 2000.
McBride, who is now 52 and lives in Texas, she said she recently went to the local DMV to update her driver's license after getting married. The DMV notified her that she had an outstanding warrant in Norman, Oklahoma, where she used to live.
It threw me off guard, McBride told Fox television stations on Saturday. I had no reason to have anything like that on me.
McBride believed her ex-boyfriend, who had 2 younger daughters, had rented Sabrina the Teenage Witch from a local video store rental and never returned the tape. The store, the movie place, has gone out of business, according to Fox 25.
McBride said she reached out to her ex-boyfriend. He has a Facebook account. He hasn't responded yet, she said. I'm sure he's going to hide in a hole, or he's going to come back very happy that he's made my life a living you-know-what. I don't think he fucking has it either.
No, that videotape is long gone.
Like, obviously, like, it wasn't, this probably wasn't intentional, like, she broke my heart, fuck her, I'm gonna ruin her life, and I'm gonna keep this, and then you'll see.
Yeah, I think that there should be no school lunch debt, and I think that all videotapes should be forgiven at this point.
Yeah, because I don't know, like, to me, what... I'm going to ask a real question. It might be kind of shady.
Okay.
Or maybe I should ask it when we speak more about this article.
McBride said she majored in business at Florida State University and has lost several high-paying jobs after bosses ran a criminal background check. She was never told why, but now realizes the embezzlement charge had likely something to do with it.
It caused me to have to work crappy jobs, 2 and 3 jobs at a time, she continued. I have an education. I shouldn't have to do that and struggle the way I struggled. The more I think about it, the more it pisses me off.
McBride said the current district attorney for Cleveland County, Oklahoma, informed her the charge was dismissed and her record was expunged. She's now looking at an attorney to take civil action, though several lawyers told her she doesn't have a case.
I believe there's somebody out here that's going to see that I do. It's caused me a lot of heartache.
This is just fucking wild. Like, it's
who
it's
is she
like
suing?
Exactly. The old family video, like...
Yeah, like... Okay, because this is where I got confused, and here's where my shady question comes into play. If she, why are you gonna reach out to an ex-boyfriend of 21 years ago about this, as if he can do anything, Like,
right?
I think she just wanted to talk to her ex, and she was like, "Well, here's an excuse," Is that crazy? Because you can't pay me to speak to some of my exes. I don't want to ever. And
right.
I can't think of anything that would come up that would make me do it.
I ignore LinkedIn requests from ex-boyfriends.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's over. We're done. Especially 21 years. I haven't been alive long enough to have an ex 21 years in the past, but when I get there, I don't know. It's just like, is she suing? Yeah, and you're going to sue a closed video store?
Well,
Which, I didn't know that they could do this. I didn't know that a video store it must have gotten sent to collections or something.
Yeah, that's what's wild to me is it's just like at that point, write off the loss. It was a $20 videotape.
Yeah, that's really dumb. If a place closes, then I guess collections doesn't work that way, but it should, where if a place closes, then no, but why would it? Collections is awful and predatory. This woman's credit. Has she ever thought to herself, man, why does my credit dog shit?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of questions if this is the first you're finding out about it.
Right. Or she would get her, she said that she lost high paying jobs because her criminal background check would come back wrong. Like, when the first time that happened, did you ever think, what's on my criminal record?
Yeah, that's the minute I would have checked in.
Yeah. I had a background check recently for my new job, and like, I looked that shit over. I mean, I didn't get, I got the job and I
Right.
don't have a criminal background, but like, I still looked just to see.
Of course. I look every time I have to do that.
I'm like, what came up? Anything come up? Nothing came up? Good to know. Great.
Well, have you ever asked a cop if they would like to bang you and offer people free lap dances?
I don't think I have.
Oh, okay. Well, that might cause a red flag on your criminal record.
I would think so. According to the IB Times, Olivia Taylor Washek, a Florida model, was arrested for offering people free lap dances and asking cops to bang her.
A drunk Florida woman was arrested over the weekend after she allegedly offered lap dances to strangers on the street and asked officers if they wanted to bang on the sidewalk.
ACAB M. All cops aren't banging model. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Police were informed to reach the scene as Olivia Taylor Washek, 28, was offering lap dances to citizens on Saturday.
She was immediately arrested for disorderly intoxication. She wasn't in her senses when the officers arrived. She even threatened paramedics when they were called in to help the officers before the arrest. Taylor Washek is an aspiring model and has appeared in several magazine covers. Doesn't sound like she's aspiring. I mean, I guess we should figure out the magazines before I say that. She was eventually released on Sunday on her own recognizance.
She was, according to her Instagram profile, she was currently second in her group among other girls in a Maxim CoverGirl competition. The winner receives a $25,000 grand prize, and she said she'd use the money to pay off her student loans.
Oh, that's nice. But, then you got too drunk.
Mm-hmm. Who hasn't been there? Again, me at brunch yesterday, I could have been this woman.
I've been to Vegas with a girl who, she wasn't offering free lap dances, but she was sitting on strangers' laps in the casino.
Was it bringing them luck?
No.
Okay. Bummer.
No, it wasn't. Send in your Vegas stories, by the way, listeners.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get evaluated when paramedics reached her because she allegedly threatened to punch them if they touched her. So apparently free lap dances only for bystanders, not for paramedics.
This is just wild. I try not to be that drunk in public ever, but like if I'm gonna really turn it up, I want to be like in a private home.
I don't know if I've ever been I can't say that I haven't ever been this drunk, but like I don't think I've ever been this drunk.
Yeah. I mean, I've been Florida drunk before.
Sure.
I mean, who amongst us hasn't? But
of course.
You know what I want when I've been in a night of drinking?
Ooh, a sandwich.
A sandwich sometimes. Just a nice, like a Jimmy John's sandwich.
Can't put my finger on what a Jimmy John's sandwich tastes like, but I bet it's good. I was thinking it's Jersey Mike's.
It's like an elevated Jersey Mike's, I would say.
Oh, wow. Well, according to HuffPost.com, ultra chill Jimmy John's employee takes sweet time during armed robbery.
He said he wasn't scared and the robbery felt like amateur hour.
So Tucker Murray is rapidly becoming an internet legend for his cool under pressure. The 24-year-old assistant manager at Jimmy John's in Kansas City, Missouri, is a clear star of surveillance footage from Wednesday when a place was robbed.
The video shows a man later identified as Terry Rayford walking up to the counter, ordering food before pulling out a gun, demanding cash, and going so far as to shove the gun in Murray's face.
None of that appeared to impress Murray, though. The video shows him coolly staring down Rayford while slowly pulling off his work gloves and casually opening the register as if he's more fed up than scared. It's funny that he pulled off his gloves. Like, I would just, like, give him that mayonnaise money, you know? Like, just... Plus
that's how
money.
The cops could identify it later, is by the serial numbers and the smell of mayonnaise.
It's 100%. Come on. He told BuzzFeed News that he wasn't afraid at all because he felt like the robber wasn't actually going to shoot him. Murray said, I was thinking, fuck this guy, dude, because he did it like a bitch.
Oh, 4KC reports that the suspect, Rayford, was already on parole for a different armed robbery and allegedly admitted to committing other robberies to support a drug habit. Oh, that took a turn.
It did. Yeah, I was actually surprised when the detective told me he had done like 12 other robberies and had been to jail before because it was amateur hour. So, I mean, don't impress him much.
Literally. Don't. Oh, man. So I wonder what I've always been so curious about like the betting situation in prisons and jails.
Because you're a gambler?
No, not the betting, like the where you lay your head, like where you sleep at night, like betting.
Oh, I, I thought you were like, I'm always wondering, like, like when I'm in prison, like what are the odds,
Right.
What are we betting on? Because everything that I get from commissary is up for grabs. I got to make the time go by faster.
Right.
Quick aside, one of my friends who's here in Arrowhead with us loves to gamble. And so every time that we get tipsy and drunk, including Flip Cup, she always wants to put money on it. And even yesterday, I did a live stream on Twitch for one of your friends, actually, and she didn't realize I was doing a table read for a pilot. She thought I was like having to participate in some sort of video game, and she's like, "What's the buy-in? I'll sit in." Like, she's wild. And
I
was
love
like,
it.
"Oh man, yeah." I was like, "I got to keep." Oh, you know her, Krista.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that about her, but that's amazing.
Yeah. So if you're in LA and you need to get your hair done, go to Krista. I think I've hoarded her on a past podcast, and yeah, you guys will have. So probably you shouldn't talk about it, to be honest. I think that it might
Fan each other's flames.
Yeah, we're like, Erica went to Krista to get her hair done, and then neither of them came back, and then you guys are like, we're in Pachanga.
Let's get into our story.
Right, yeah. Bed sheets, my bad.
According to metro.ko/UK, a third of people only wash their bed sheets once a year.
A third. Whoa.
We are sad to bring you the grossest news you'll likely hear today. A third of people in the UK only wash their bed sheets once a year. One time in a whole fucking year.
This is research based on a survey of 2,000 people conducted by Hammond's Furniture. 1 in 3, 30% admitted to washing their bedding just once a year, a habit which experts say can lead to bacteria, build up itchy skins, and mites. And our gross habits don't stop at the bed sheets, because 36% of Brits only wash blankets once a year, and 18% only washing jeans annually.
Now, denim I can kind of understand. If it's not stretched denim, like that hard old school denim, I get.
Not a year though, dude. Like I understand the jeans thing too, but like you can't. I don't buy jeans expensive enough to even worry about them in the wash. But like I just can't imagine. I can't think of anything that I only do once a year. Like I'm pretty sure I have Christmas more often than that. Like.
People are cleaner when it comes to towels. 40% of people wash after each use, while 45% ensuring that they washed after 5 uses.
This is really sad, though, is that 80%, 80% wash undergarments after every wear, but there are significant gender differences. A quarter of men admitted to washing their underwear after 5 uses, compared to just 13% of women. And then worryingly, 1 in 10 men claim to wash their underwear after every 10 uses, compared to just 3% of women. Ladies, are you not getting UTIs?
Yeah, that's in a chill up my spine.
Like, what the fuck?
I'll change underwear twice a day if I feel like 100%. It.
Yeah, if I'm feeling that not so fresh feeling, whatever, yeah. I'll change them. Like. This might be, is it TMI? Let's say I'm getting dressed to go out, and then prior to going out, my partner and I decide, hey, we've got a few extra minutes. would you be interested in sex? I will not put on those underwear again. I will put on brand new ones. I won't re-put on underwear that's only been worn for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I don't like getting UTIs. I don't want them.
Nope.
Ugh, can't do it, dude. So I don't know if you're going to think that I'm trashy or proud of me or both or neither. I bought these fucking linens. Ooh, they were expensive too. Expensive linens from an LA company that I don't want to name, but like $275 linens, a duvet cover and pillowcases. And I wash them as much as normal. Every once in a while, like I'll had to wash them like maybe 1 or 2 times more because of, like my dogs stink or they have an accident or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I wash them a normal amount and they are like falling apart, like fading and like little holes in them. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And everyone's like, well, you're probably washing them too much because, the dogs and stuff. I was like, how often do you wash your things? And then we talk about it and I'm like, yeah, I'm washing them the same. So I reach out to this company and I'm like, you guys, these were $300 fucking blankets. Like, what's up? I got them to refund me half my money.
Wow.
I bought them in August and they refunded me half my money. The first thing they said was like, we'll give you a 50% discount if you want to buy a replacement. I was like, I am absolutely not interested in spending any more money with your company. And then they were like, all right, well, here, we'll give you 50% back. And I was like, score. So
yeah, that's a win in my book.
I mean, I like, sometimes you got to stand up for yourself.
You know who else had to stand up for themselves?
Tell them.
The man in our next story from metalinjection.net, sent in by Anthony Charles.
Thank you, Anthony.
Drummer's corpse propped up behind his kit at his funeral.
I don't like this.
The wake for drummer Brenton McPherson, also known as Bonnie Brent, sure was a unique one. Mostly because McPherson's body, instead of being laid down in an open casket style, was propped up behind his drum kit for one final performance.
The video of the setup was posted by Covenant Funeral Homes, Inc. on their YouTube channel. It probably goes without saying, if you're not in the mood to see a literal dead guy, probably skip this video.
The funeral home posted, reunited with his dad, the late greats Tom Charles, Pamela Maynard, Dennis Brown, and the many artists gone before him. This was truly an honor. Thank you, Bonnie. We needed you to tell the world about Jesus. Without him, this would still be in my dreams. All right. It doesn't make much sense to me, but I'm not grieving, so I'm sure it makes sense to those who are grieving.
Do me a favor.
Yeah?
Do not post a photo of this on our Instagram.
Okay. You have to seek this out, trashy listeners.
Like, yeah, we'll give you the link to the story, as we always do, but like, because I don't want to see this. I don't know if this is gonna be crazy to anybody. I don't like looking at dead bodies. So the fucking, because people always make jokes about this, like, oh, at my funeral, I'm gonna fucking do this, and this, and that doesn't happen because that's fucking crazy. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's kind of gross, right? Like, it's not gross in the way of like, oh wow, you're really disrespecting that guy. Like, I'm sure he would have loved it, but like, you're more like, it's just gross for everyone who has to like walk in and like, oh, like I would feel like I would need like to talk to my therapist about it after.
Yeah, I would definitely want to talk to a therapist about something like that.
What's the word? Macabre?
Macabre, yeah.
Yes. Oh, this is bad.
Let's get into our next story then. Something a little more lighthearted from the New York Post.
Yes, absolutely. A Long Island man dodges eviction for 20 years, living in a house that he doesn't own. Nice.
A Long Island man only ever made one mortgage payment and has deftly used courts to stay in house for 23 years for free, according to legal papers.
Gurumit Hansbal, 52, has filed 4 lawsuits and claimed bankruptcy 7 times to avoid being booted from the 2,081 square foot East Meadow home that he, quote, bought for $290,000 in 1998.
Okay, call me crazy, but to buy anything in New York for under $300,000 feels like he got a steal to begin with.
Well, I mean, this was 1998, but absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, what is that in today's money? Under a million still? I think that's still a bargain.
It's hard to say. But two different banks and a real estate company have owned the 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home since Hansbill was foreclosed upon in 2000. But Hansbill, he remains.
Huntsville not only occupies the home, leveraging the U.S. Bankruptcy Code's automatic stay rules, which gives debtors a temporary reprieve from all collection efforts, harassments, and foreclosures.
I guess I didn't think about it until right now, because now we've done this story and then the VHS tape lady. But like, what do you think the average credit score is amongst all the people that we talk about in our town?
Oh, great question. I mean, I've been working hard. Mine is on the rise, but
Great.
I'm looking at these people and I'm saying you've got under 600 for sure.
I would say even lower, Erica. I would say under 4.
Oh my God.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can. It can.
7 times? Like, how, after which bankruptcy did they go, hey, asshole, we're not doing this anymore? Like, you can file for bankruptcy 7 times. Well, I suppose our former president probably has a few. But, like, how is that possible?
Well, let's see. Hansville has a history of litigations and is incredibly long and sordid, according to Katz, who added while he's seen occupants in the foreclosed homes before, nothing approaches the length of stay of this one.
Just for everyone who's curious, Donald Trump has filed for bankruptcy 6 times. So, you know.
That's how he keeps living in Trump Towers and at Mar-a-Lago, right?
Yeah, not as bad as this guy, I guess. So he had the initial 7.375% interest rate on the $232,000 adjustable rate mortgage, and he likely saved himself upward of $440,000 by not paying his bills. But is he saving anything? Like, at what point does this become illegal?
Well, I mean, he's gaming the system that's put in place there. He made one mortgage payment in 1998 of $1,602.37 before defaulting, prompting the bank to begin foreclosure proceedings a year later.
I mean, this is wild. Like, and then at some point, in 2004, he transferred the deed of the home to a friend, Rajendra Pal, even though he had no legal right to do so, according to court papers. And then Pal, using that same address, filed for bankruptcy in 2005, staving off eviction again. It's like, apparently, like, Pal's like, man, like, this is a really great place, man. Like, how do you afford this? And Hansville goes, actually, I'm looking for someone to do a job for me.
Yeah. Let me let you in on a little secret that I learned about the U.S. legal system.
Well, and so one of the banks that he was using with all this, hubbub was Washington Mutual, which closed in 2008.
One of the largest bank collapses in American history, and the assets were eventually turned over to J.P. Morgan Chase.
JP Morgan Chase could not get his ass out either.
The new bank was unable to boot Hansel and had locked litigations with him for years, with Hansel filing at least 3 lawsuits against JP Morgan Chase in the Nassau County Supreme Court.
So the pandemic may have given Hansel yet another reprieve because the COVID-19 backlog in New York housing's courts have kept them from pursuing their eviction effort. I mean, this is wild. And on the one hand, I'm like, I hope that nobody feels inspired by this and tries to do this themselves. But then on the other hand, I fucking hate like corporate greed and how hard it is to like afford shit. So I kind of like when people stick it to the man like this. I don't know, man.
I mean, he's figured out a system and it's worked for him. And he has stayed in this home for, 20 years.
Over 20 years. So I mean, who are we? I suppose we should, pause for a moment and give all the listeners and ourselves time to clap for this man.
I mean, he's a trash icon. Like, you make one mortgage payment and you get to live off that. Like, what is 23 divided by $1,600?
A lot.
Smart on him,
Can you imagine if, like in a couple weeks, it was like, hey, why are you trash this week? Okay, so I've been living in my apartment rent free for the past, whatever. I wish that we were that trashy. You know what we might be, though?
Oh my God. Are we?
I think we're chuggy.
We're total chuggy.
This comes from the NewYorkTimes.com, which, not to brag, is a, publication that I pay for. What is chuggy? You know it when you see it.
Out of touch? Basic? A new term to describe a certain aesthetic is gaining popularity on TikTok.
Okay, TikTok, I have a word for you that my friends and I use, and you are clearly all in need of. Haley Kane, 24, a copywriter in Los Angeles, says on a TikTok post March 30th.
In her video, she gestures to another video of a girl who is describing the type of people who get married at 20 years old or have millennial girl boss energy and wonders, what do we call this kind of person?
I keep seeing videos like this, and the word, my friend, is chuggy.
It's not quite basic, but it describes someone who is a conformist or perhaps generic in their tastes and not quite uncool.
So, this isn't live, laugh, love. Everyone knows that that's shitty, right? That's basic. But, chevron is included in things that are chuggy. So, live, laugh, love, absolutely not. Get your wood signs out of here. But if you went for, a chevron, accent wall, you're chuggy.
Here's a list of chuggy things. The Hype House, Golden Goose sneakers, anything associated with Barstool Sports, Gucci belts with the double G logo, being really into sneaker culture, Ray Dunn pottery, and obviously anything chevron.
One of my friends said lasagna is chuggy. Okay, that's rude. Leave lasagna out of this.
Yeah. Thrifting, making your own clothes, Levi's products, Birkenstocks, home decor not found at Target.
Those are things unchuggy, right?
Unchuggy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking good for yourself and not caring what other people think, that confidence exudes non-chugginess. Who the fuck is not? Look, I love this word. I think it's very fun. However, I don't know anybody who isn't a little chuggy.
For sure. I don't care for the term chuggy. I get the concept and I'm against what it's for. But this is what happens when we stop stealing slang from the African American vernacular and let white people make up slang is we get the word chuggy.
You just don't like the way it sounds?
I just don't like the way it sounds.
Well, that's fair. That's very, very fair. They do say that, that chuggy, everyone can be a little bit chuggy. It says that though it has slight negative connotations, people who use the term say that they often identify as chuggy themselves. Everyone has something chuggy in their closet. We didn't intend for it to be a mean thing. Some people have claimed that it is. It's just a fun word that we use as a group of friends that has somehow resonated with a bunch of people.
It's totally up to your interpretation, says Miss Kane. I'll send something to our group chat and be like, is this chuggy? And some will say yes and some will say no.
Okay. Now I'm starting to turn on it for some reason. But I mean, let me live.
Yeah, just let a bitch live. I've got chuggy stuff in my closet, I'm sure.
Sure. I mean, and I guarantee that I'm more chuggy than not. But also, sometimes I like shit that's also considered basic.
I do too.
So,
I'm doing No by May, like I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a pair in April of denim shorts that has frays and cutouts in them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hella cute, but I got them and they were way too small because I guess I have grown during the pandemic.
Oh my God, same.
So posing it to the listeners, is it okay if I exchange the jeans? Does that count for No by May? If the money is net neutral, I just ship the product back and they ship me a new pair. Is that okay?
I think that counts. The money's already gone. It's already spent.
Money's already been spent. No new money is placed.
So I'm also trying to do No by May, and I have failed already. But let me ask this to the listeners: because Target doesn't let you try on anything anymore because of COVID. So if I return every single thing that I bought because I don't like how any of it fits, does that? Am I clear? Did I, in fact, not participate in? I don't know. I mean, I definitely bought stuff, but like, I'm returning all of it.
I don't know. I
It
guess
feels
if
dicey,
it
doesn't
comes
it?
up to a net neutral,
Oh, well. Oh, fucking well. I mean, it's like a diet. If you screw up one day, that doesn't mean if you screw up your breakfast, that doesn't mean you have an unhealthy dinner,
exactly.
right?
And you know what else you could screw up pretty big?
What?
You could accidentally move the border of a country.
This is bananas to me and wildly European, this story.
According to the BBC.com, a Belgian farmer accidentally moves French border.
A local history enthusiast was walking in the forest when he noticed the stone marking the boundary between the two countries had moved 2.29 meters, which is 7.5 feet. The Belgian farmer, apparently annoyed by the stone in the tractor's path, had moved it inside the French territory.
Instead of causing an international uproar, the incident has been met with smiles on both sides of the border.
Did he not realize that rock was the border? The rock on his fucking farm is the border?
I guess not. Like, I mean, this is how like wars get started back in the day.
For real.
He made the Belgium side a little bigger and France a little smaller. It's not a good
Ooh.
idea.
Have you been working on your French accent?
That was like a vaguely European accent. I don't know the origin of David Lavaux, mayor of the Belgian village of Urquilines, as he told French TV. That was his quote, and I was taking a swing.
I liked it. I'm happy my town was bigger. I'm trying to do your accent now. But the mayor of didn't agree. I'm sorry. I don't know what that French town is called.
We should be able to avoid a new border war, the amused mayor of the neighboring French village told La Vue du Nord.
Local Belgian authorities plan to contact the farmer and ask him to return the stone to its original location. If that does not happen, the case could end up in the Belgian Foreign Ministry, which would have to summon a Franco-Belgian border commission, dormant since 1930. They're like, we got to call those guys up. But most of them are dead. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Get your ass to the border. We got a dispute to settle.
If he shows goodwill, he won't have a problem. We will settle this issue amicably. How the fuck did they even know? Like, is it like...
So a local historian was taking a walk in the forest and he noticed the rock wasn't in the right place.
Okay, I got confused. I thought, okay, that makes sense. Sorry, everyone.
Speaking of being at the right place at the right time, I would say, according to thecat.iheart.com, woman smuggles loaded gun into Missouri jail in her vagina.
Well, what else are they for? If you can't put a loaded gun in your vagina, then why did God give us these parts?
Exactly. Like, it's honestly nature's pocket.
Second to, our boobs.
Nature's resting place. Like, I place my phone on my chest a lot of times to hold it. If I'm laying down, I'm just like, oh, I can just prop it right there.
Women are essentially just really like advanced recliners. We've got pillows, we've got cup holders, So Amy Wilhite said that she was holding it for another inmate when authorities caught her smuggling a loaded gun into prison in her vagina.
Local law enforcement officials arrested Waite, 39, on Valentine's Day on unrelated weapons and drug charges, among others. But on March 3rd, shortly before 1 p.m., detention staff found the firearm in the Boone County Jail housing unit, and Boone County Sheriff's Office said the media and the public information release.
So apparently they didn't find this when they were doing like their strip search.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that that's something that the movies make up. Like, they have to like look up their butts and stuff and their vaginas before they go into prison, right?
Yeah, they get a thorough pat down and a procedural strip search when she entered the jail on February 14th.
So the sheriff's office said that it was a .22 caliber revolver measuring about 4 inches long, 2.38 inches wide, at about 4.6 ounces. It was concealed within a body cavity, is what they said, which we all know what that means.
We all know what a body cavity is for a female.
So she's been sentenced to a decade in prison after pleading guilty to smuggling the weapon, and that it was fully loaded with 5 rounds at the time.
She was only holding onto it for another female detainee, but other inmates all stated Amy was in possession of the firearm. So people snitched.
Nobody snitched. She was snitching. She was like, "Oh, it's not for me. It's for someone else." And then everyone else was
but
like,
other
the fuck
inmates
isn't."
all stated she was in possession of the firearm.
Oh, no. I thought that. Oh.
Somebody snitched.
Well, wouldn't you rather do that than get shot in the head with a vagina gun?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Maybe stitches are allowed in this situation.
Yeah. It doesn't always hurt to be a good student, does it?
No, I guess not.
This next story makes me ill.
According to the NewYorkPost.com, man allegedly swings colostomy bag at cops at Kid Rock's bar in Nashville.
Oh, I didn't even see the colostomy bag part. I just was feeling sick that Kid Rock has a bar in Nashville. Dun, 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 dun.
Boom. They were struck in the line of duty.
Oh, man. That was like, I wonder how many high fives that journalist got from, the people in his home, because he's probably working from home.
It felt good to read it. It felt good.
Absolutely. A drunk man at Kid Rock's bar in Tennessee literally lost his shit on a pair of police officers, swinging his colostomy bag at them and whacking them with feces. Hey, guys, don't do that.
That is disgusting and probably how the plague started.
That's COVID-21. It's all started by this guy. Nicholas Adam Newhart, 39, was blocking an emergency exit door in an indoor area of Kid Rock's big-ass honky-tonk rock and roll steakhouse. All right, hold on.
Let's workshop this name.
Yeah, Kid Rock's big-ass honky-tonk rock and roll steakhouse. Who even makes a sign that big? And a neon one, because it's in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's one in Vegas in Harrah's called Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill.
Yes, I've embarrassingly eaten at a Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill, begrudgingly, in Oklahoma City.
I went there on my own free will, but have country stars never been to restaurants before? Do they not realize that a small, sleek name is what's better?
M Grill, Boa, those are steakhouse names. Taylor's.
Kid Rock's Bar. Just make it Kid Rock's Bar and then be done. But big ass honky tonk rock and roll steakhouse. I don't want a rockin' and rollin' steak.
No, I want my steak dead, chill, and served a little warm.
I don't chill. Oh, relaxed.
Relaxed. Okay. Yeah.
I was like, damn, Erica, cold steak. Interesting. Hot take. The security staffers told Newhart to leave, but he refused, and he prompting them to track down cops for help.
Newhart then allegedly took out his colostomy bag from inside his pants and began to swing it around wildly, hitting 2 officers with his excrement.
Cops said Newhart was so wasted at the time he couldn't stand steadily on his own, had bloodshot eyes, and a strong smell of alcohol emanating from his body. I mean, I find it hard to believe that the bartenders are over serving at Kid Rock's big ass honky tonk rock and roll steakhouse.
That's exactly. I was like, how dare we question their integrity?
So he was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of assault on an officer, offensive contact, as well as public intoxication and disorderly conduct.
He remained in custody Wednesday on a $4,500 bond, online records show.
Twitter's been having fun with this a little bit. I don't think I'd want to be in the transport car on his arrest. Some officers may need to take a quick bath, is what the Nashville Scanner tweeted.
Okay, so the Sheboygan Scanner, the Nashville Scanner, if you can find a Twitter account that is blank city scanner, it is going to be amazing. Because
what is that?
It's just literally a transcript of what comes across police scanners. So the Sheboygan one is the best, in my opinion, Sheboygan Scanner.
Where is Sheboygan?
Great question.
You're like, I don't know. I just know a lot about their crime.
I just know a lot about the Sheboygan crime.
I don't even know if I know how to spell Sheboygan.
I'm looking it up right now. We follow them on our Trashy Twitter. So if you go to our Twitter and go to our followers, you can find it. Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's cute. Another Twitter said, if you don't want to be exposed to shit, stay away from Kid Rock.
Ooh.
Got him.
Oh man, he's a son of Oklahoma. Newhart's Facebook page indicates he's from Wynette, Oklahoma, and one post from 2005 shows a large Confederate flag tattoo on the back of his head. He also has the flag tattooed on his forearm, according to his profile picture.
Wow, 2 flag tattoos. He got the one on the back of his head, and he was like, "Oh wait, I can't see it.
Better get one on my arm
so I can see it." If I wear a hat, how are people going to know that I'm racist? I better get one on my arm. Oh boy. Oh boy. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week. I can't believe that stuck, you know? I can't believe that this thing stuck.
From episode 1.
Yeah, like I was doing it as a bit because I thought we would definitely get like a sting or something. And then we just never did.
I kind of like it.
I like it too. I like imagining people in their cars or at their jobs or whatever they're listening to this, you know, to themselves quietly going, I don't know if they do that, but if you do, I love you for it, you know? According to NewYorkTimes.com, a website that I subscribe to, the birth rate has declined for the 6th year straight in 2020. The federal government reported on Wednesday early evidence that the coronavirus pandemic has accelerated a trend among American women of delaying pregnancy.
Earlier in the pandemic, there was a speculation that the major changes in life American families could lead to a recovery in the birth rate as couples hunkered down together. In fact, they appeared to have the opposite effect. Births were down sharply at the end of the year when babies conceived at the start of the pandemic would have been born.
So they were, I remember this, like in the, first few months of the pandemic, everyone's like, oh, there's going to be a big baby boom after this because people are so bored. I can't speak for all couples, but I know some couples, especially the ones who live in 1-bedroom apartments, it's more like they're not having sex. They don't even want to look at each other's fucking face.
Uh-huh. And they got laid off. They can't fucking afford a kid.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. You're not gonna be snoozing on birth control at a time like this.
Doubling up.
Yeah. So there was 3,605,000. Oh wow. I'm not good with big numbers. Let me try this again. Was I got insecure like midway in.
No,
I was
you nailed it.
Okay. Just imagine the number in its underwear. Okay. 3,605,201 births in the United States last year, the lowest number since 1979. The birth rate measured as the number of babies per 1,000 women ages 15 to 44 has fallen about 19% since its recent peak in 2007. So basically, ever since the 2008 recession, we've been going down.
Yeah, nobody can afford to have a child.
Yeah, so I listened to a couple podcasts about this because I just find it fascinating. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to figure out why this is happening. And there's a lot of theories. One of them has to do with the fact that teenagers are not having children anymore, which good. Like why I don't necessarily think that like teenagers should even be involved in the statistics. Like when they're saying like, oh yeah, women ages 15 to 44. I'm like, hey, leave these 15-year-olds out of it, please.
You're not a woman at 15. Like,
yeah.
You're at 18 is when you are officially an adult.
And I don't think you're still an adult yet.
No, your brain's not fully formed till you're like 25, but
yeah.
For legal purposes,
yeah.
Under 18, you are still a girl.
Yes, absolutely. There's, of course, under 18, you're still a girl. And then 18 to 25, you're not a girl, not yet a woman. And then 25 to 27, it's kind of just a weird, spooky place. I would even say 25 to 28. 28 is when you're an adult. This is just my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And then 28 and over, you're the lady in red.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 100%.
Lady in red. All right.
Okay. So teenage birth rate's gone down a lot, and it's because they use birth control. And also, apparently, they don't have sex as much as they used to. Or we used to, I suppose.
Interesting.
because of internet. I don't think that they're either as bored or as interested in social, like head-to-head like interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just having sex like later in life or whatever. And also when you're a teenage girl, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, big future ahead. I don't want to risk this.
Yeah. Yeah. One participant of the Women's Health Research Group in East Tennessee State University, Molly Sharp, said, I'm far too young to be responsible for a child at 25. I'm just still learning about myself and being an adult. That's just no way I could take on the responsibility of having a kid right now.
Ms. Sharp, who is engaged in December, has been with her fiance, now a medical student, for about 7 years. She said she's also been deterred by the rising costs of having a child, from daycare to college. The knowledge that she and her fiance would have to pay off a large amount of debt from his medical school. She said that her ideal age to have a child would be in her early 30s and that she could not imagine having a baby before the age of 30.
None of my close friends are having kids, says Miss Sharp, who was just accepted into graduate school. We are working jobs and figuring out what we're doing, but don't have much plans much past 5 years.
So, I mean, this has certainly been my experience is, like I have like maybe one set of friends who got married even like when we were in our not yet a woman phase.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, like I have more friends who are getting married, and then and like finally, like we're all like in our early 30s. Now there's rumblings of people gonna maybe start trying to have kids, but never before. Never. Anyone I know who's had a child that is like close to me, that baby was an accident. A lovely, lovely, well-deserved. We love the accidents, obviously. Like I love my friends' kids, but they weren't planned.
See, I find the opposite being from Oklahoma. A lot of my
You don't
friends
love your friends' unplanned kids?
No. No. I love the accidents. I love the on purposes. I love the intentional children as much as I love their accidents. But a lot of my friends got married in their early 20s and started to have children early. My core group of friends, one of our friends just had a baby. And so, like, of one of my college groups, like, and there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of us that don't have children yet, that I think is kind of the stronghold for now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here with like, there's 8 of us total. Nobody has kids yet. We're all around the same age. There's one with rumblings, and then I'll say 2 of us because I want to have a baby in the next few years. Like there's two of us couples that are right around there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what the 4th one is. I respect them, whatever the decision is, but like we're all in our 30s because it just, you can't afford this. And, one of the other theories of why the birth rate is going down is because women now we live in, a lot closer to equality than anything else that we have in history.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just having the amount of kids that we want to have rather than being like baby machines.
Yeah. And like we pay for labor rather than having children to be a part of our labor force. Does that make sense? Like,
no,
farmers aren't having 12 kids because somebody had to work the farm anymore.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We're paying for labor.
Yeah. Cause they were trying to figure out if this was just like a United States thing, because as a country, we don't have a lot of social safety nets, but we might get more. Like there's certain countries, like I know Japan and the United States was thinking about doing things like, free preschool for everyone and free community college for everyone is incentive to have a child. Because right now, like economically, there's not really a lot of incentive, but it's happening in other countries too. So that's where like, oh no, women are just like don't want to fucking have 4, 5, 6 kids.
Yeah,
like they don't want their entire life to be taking care of 6 kids. So that's that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like women nowadays just have much more control of their fertility. Like some
Which
people,
is great.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, we're getting close to equality. It's not there yet, but we're getting closer.
So at today's rates, women have around 1.6 children. That's like the average amongst all childbearing American women. A level that demographers call below replacement because it signals that today's generation of parents may be producing a generation of children smaller than itself. So there's pros and cons, obviously, because there's so many fucking baby boomers, and if there's not enough people to kind of like pay taxes and replace them, it's going to fall on like our children to like, it's falling on us to deal with it. And it will continue to fall down and down until finally it kind of, whatever. But climate wise, very good that we're having less children. And also, like, if you don't have as big of a labor force, then your existing labor force makes more money. So our children might make more money.
On to the future. Like, I think the world is pretty goddamn big, and we have a hard time. We don't have a hard time growing food. We have a hard time distributing food to everyone. Like, so a lot of food is lost in the distribution process, like from ground to harvest to getting it into the mouths of people. And if we have a little less people, like maybe we'll get a little bit better about distributing food to them.
Yeah. So I can say from a completely selfish standpoint that I like that all my friends are waiting until their late 20s and 30s to A, get married, and B, have kids, because that's obviously like what I have chosen to do as well. But I'll tell you what, I'm 31 and I feel like every fucking week I'm hearing like so-and-so's friend, oh my God, they're pregnant. Like, and I'm just like, everybody getting pregnant. And all I want now, I'm just like, I want that baby. Give me that baby. I feel like my trashy little biological clock is like, give me a baby.
Give me a baby.
Come on, a baby. Give me the baby.
Have you considered getting another cat? Because that's the solution I had when I felt that knock. I just said, get another cat.
No, I want a baby.
I want a baby.
I want a baby. That's okay, though. I respect your decision not to have children.
Yeah.
Ever?
Ever. I want to be everybody's aunt.
Absolutely. You can spend time with my baby when I get the baby.
Oh my God, I'll babysit the shit out of that baby.
Everyone's like, don't let her have a baby. Listen to the way that she's speaking about it.
I don't. Is she going to eat it? I'm scared.
I don't know yet.
Are you hoarding anything this week?
Yes, I am. Okay. As everyone knows, I was watching all the Marvel movies, so I did finish them. Okay. I did not know that Avengers Infinity, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but like I'm doing the listeners a service that no one thought to do for me because everyone just assumed that I knew. Infinity War? Get the fucking tissues ready.
Yeah.
Because like I was inconsolable, hysterical. Like I was fucked up, and I happened to be working. Because I watch movies while I work, so I was working at my partner's house when I was finishing Infinity War, and so then I just kind of like wandered into his bedroom, broken, sad, like bawling, and he was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And I was like, again, I'm not going to spoil anything. But I was like, and he was like laughing at me. And he said, I'm going to be a good guy and I'm not going to film you, but I really want to. And look, I am so guilty in my not a girl, not yet a woman phase, which I'm officially now just going to call 18 to 25 that Britney Spears. I would film embarrassing stuff all the time. Not too although in the beginning of Snapchat, I think we were all fucking up. And certainly Instagram stories back when we would all get drunk could sometimes get sloppy. But I would film that kind of stuff, and I wouldn't use it. I don't use it to blackmail people. Like, I'll just like my best friends would be like, remember this? Whatever. I know that that's wrong. I know it's trashy now. So I'm actually hoarding my own growth and encouraging other people like, hey, don't film people when they're like super like doing something embarrassing. Like if I'm a grown-ass woman weeping at the end of a Marvel movie, like let that just be a moment that we enjoy. And I'm glad that he didn't film me. I thought that was a very nice thing of him to do.
I I used to do a lot of front-facing Instagram comedy and
Mhm.
filming. Yeah, I would film things that I'm like, maybe that was just a moment for me.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I used to look at my Instagram stories the next morning after going out and being like delete, 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 because I'm just like this isn't. I don't look good here. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, an older version of me may have filmed someone if I was on the other side of it, or even like allowed him to film me. You can film me,
You
like,
can film
literally.
me.
So I'm just proud. I'm hoarding not filming people and in vulnerable moments. What are you hoarding?
I'm hoarding. Get your popcorn, put your
Mm,
peanut butter M&Ms inside of it, and then get you an HBO Max subscription
mm.
and watch the series Generation Hustle. And each
Oh,
episode is about a different scam. One of them was about WeWork. One of them was about a scam rap out of Detroit. One of them's about Anna Delvey and the way she kind of scammed all of New York. It's just short, 1 hour documentaries about
ooh,
scammers, and it's so fucking good.
that sounds right up my alley.
It's great. The scam rap episode 3, I've watched it twice now, and I'm just like, this is blowing my mind.
I love that. I'm gonna definitely watch it. What's it called again?
Generation Hustle.
Fuck yeah.
It's real good. Are you throwing anything away?
Yeah, I am. I have to use a PC for work. I
Oof.
fucking hate it.
Uh,
It's awful. So I've decided to just be like a total buzzkill and throw out all of these weird memes of people being like, "Oh, Bill Gates is single." You know?
uh-huh.
I don't like PCs. I think Bill Gates is not a bad guy. I think, obviously very philanthropic,
Mhm.
a smart man. But like, I don't know why I'm like this sort of bit of internet culture just isn't feeling cute to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like it kind of like it there feels like there's some sort of misogyny involved in it a little bit, and I don't know. I just like I'm like, really? Like I don't know. I don't know why it bugs me. I can't put my finger on it.
Mhm. I understand.
Like who gives a fuck how much money he has? I shouldn't say that. I know that shacking up with a billionaire would be life-changing, but like, you know, just I'll go ahead and say it's chuggy.
Oh, it's chuggy. I agree.
It's chuggy to suddenly thirst after a man in his 60s who him and his wife have decided to get a divorce. And also like all the weird like kind of like, oh, wonder what Melinda's doing. Like what I mean, like look at Melinda taking off in like a speedboat, like happy with all of her riches. I don't know, I just don't like it for some reason.
Well, she's obviously going to date Pete Davidson. Like everyone's single, and then she'll grow out of that.
I like Pete Davidson.
I do too. I do too. I think he's a troubled young man, but I think he has like ultimately a good heart.
I think so too. Yeah, people tend to like him. What are you throwing out?
I'm throwing out targeted ads and Facebook telling you that to remain free, it needs to track your information.
100%. What is I think it was like Adam Ruins Everything or something like that, where you figured out that like if you just paid like $14 a month for Facebook, they wouldn't need to do that.
Which at this point, I honestly don't know if I would pay for it. I only use it for birthdays and to promote Trashy Trashy. And then what I've done is I've started taking out people's birthdays and then putting a reminder in my phone
Mm-hmm.
so that eventually I can get off of this damn app.
Yeah, I mean, I recreated my Facebook in the past few months because I was looking for a job, and now I have a job. So I've been thinking about deleting it again.
But yeah, the targeted ads, it makes it really hard for No by May because I'm like, damn, that's exactly what I need. Like they know
Mm-hmm.
me to a T.
I mean, that's what they want.
I
That's the
know.
point.
Fucking capitalism, baby.
Fucking capitalism, baby. That's a good one to throw out.
Yeah. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on the Nooner podcast and the Smodcast Network. And I don't think I was in Pilot Dump. Can you rewatch those Pilot Dumps from Twitch?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was in a recent stream of Pilot Dump from the Pack Theater's Twitch. Pilot is called Nero, the Killer Vole. So if you want to, see a table read of this guy named Sam Weller's very cool animated first draft of his script, I play the villain.
Ooh,
So,
friend of the pod, Sam Weller, listener.
Mhm.
So shout out to Sam. Good job.
It was super fun.
I watched part of it before I fell asleep last night.
Oh, did we put you to sleep, Erica?
No, it was very entertaining. I shouldn't say asleep. I should say before I passed out last night.
Okay, before you died from brunch, yes.
Before I brunched out.
Yeah, it was super fun and it was funny, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So yeah, check that out. The twitch.tv/Pack Theater.
Awesome.
Where do they find you, Erica?
At Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram and at Gillygal on Twitter. And you can also find me on an upcoming episode of Shut Up, I Love It. I talk about the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous and why I think it's one of the most underrated comedies of all time. It should be quoted like Anchorman and Zoolander and Austin Powers was. And I think because it was like a female-focused film, it didn't get its due.
Interesting. I would put the argument in that because it's not quoted like those movies, it is protected.
Oh, okay.
Because those movies are quoted. Yeah, those movies are quoted so often that it's kind of like nobody's watching Anchorman 1 and going, this is actually really funny,
I fell out of my chair the first time I saw Anchorman. I laughed so hard in the theaters.
You fell onto a movie theater floor?
Onto a movie theater floor. I was laughing so hard.
What part made you laugh that hard?
It just, a whale's vagina. Like, I was like, what? You can't say that. It was, what? It was, I was in high school, but it made me laugh so damn hard. I remember where I was. Like, I remember falling. I remember like quoting the movie afterwards. Anyway. So listen to my episode of Shut Up, I Love It, and go give them, rate, review, subscribe. It's a fun podcast hosted by Joe and Sasha. So
cool.
And you can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and on Twitter, where we post this week's stories to our socials. So to get you a little view, a little tease of what we talk about each day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always find us at www.trashytrashypodcast.com and let us know why you're trash. Send us your Vegas stories. We are still collecting and soliciting Las Vegas trashy stories. It doesn't have to be epic. It can be, I puked in a trash can. It can be, I ordered salmon at a Denny's and in Vegas. Send us those stories in. We really appreciate the ones we've received so far.
Yes. We love you.
Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
Oh, I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.